A very good to you all. Myself, Dr.K.Kavita, working as an Associate Professor of Mathematics in Basic Science Humanities Department, BVRAT Hyderabad College of Engineering for Women. The outside, I would like to thank the management coordinators of Connect program for giving me this wonderful opportunity to present our teaching techniques in this great platform. Today, I want to talk about correlation regression. The outlines of today's presentations are topic, syllabus, micro-teaching plan, course outcomes, prerequisites, motivation to the topic, approach on various subtopics, activities plan, difficult topics, list of misconceptions, key topics in stream related to placement, industry, question papers, key points, applications, advantages in correlation and regression. Now, before beginning with this topic, I would like to give some importance of statistics because today's my topic comes from statistics. Statistics is everywhere. Statistics plays a vital role in modern lifestyle. Technically speaking, especially to be able to analyze the industrial process, determinate, non-determinate, making predictions, and so on, the engineer must understand not only the language of mathematics but also that of probability and statistics. In this subject, the subtopic of today, I'm going to discuss about correlation and regression. So I can say that statistics is everywhere in predicting analysis. Now let's get into the topic. My topic, correlation and regression. The syllabus and micro teaching plan. Thus, in correlation, we are going to discuss the topics of correlation coefficient, the rank of correlation, and the regression coefficient, the regressions of lines of regressions. This is the micro teaching plan, what I planned for teaching. Now, let's see what are the course outcomes. After careful study of this topic, students is able to estimate the correlation coefficient and hence find the strength of the relation between variables. The other one, apply the concepts of linear regression for building empirical models to engineering and scientific data. Next, we move to prerequisites. There are two prerequisites are there. First one, concepts of the systems of linear equations, concepts of 2D and 3D geometry. As all of us aware, it is being considered like a correlation regressions are considered in statistics, but not so. If you understand the concepts in a clear way, so correlation regressions are very easy to analyze if these prerequisites learned before going to the topic. If these two topics know the students, it is very easy to understand the concepts of correlation regression. That is, when they are going to solve the problems, definitely come across 2D and 3D geometrical concepts, which are they supposed to know. That is, we can revise or brush these topics in a better way. Now, continuation of the same topic, faculty approaches towards prerequisites. List the topics and ask the students to prepare. Questioning the students about the topic. Before start any topic, we can ask the questions based on questions. We come to know that how far they are perfect in prerequisites. Ask a few students to prepare and explain in the class. That is, means giving some prerequisites topics to few students. Ask them to come and prepare to explain in the class. Explain all the concepts in the class. That is, without involving the students, we have to explain in the class. Conducting a quiz in the class. Combinations of above, say 1, 2, 4, and 5. Under these prerequisites discussions, we can go for chat, Pinterest app, and Kahoot app.
Today, I have made a model for the mathematical topic correlation. Correlation, by its definition, is the process of establishing a connection between any two quantities, or speaking technically, any two variables. So, in my correlation model today, I have taken the following variables. One, I have chosen the sales of the supermarket and organizing structure, and the second variable is the sales of the direct or any other disputable property. One day, Billy's mom asked him to go and buy a chocolate. So Billy goes to the department store. He mentioned his promotion. In the first scenario, all the products in the supermarket are completely messed up. They are not organized at all. If you want to buy it, you have to search there are no signs or anything to indicate the place where all of the particular products or the related products are kept. The store is organized. There is a huge sign which divides the lanes of the store into different categories. So it makes it easier for the customer to go to the particular wherever the product is kept. The first scenario, the store was completely messed up. Billy was able to pick up the phone at his mom was, but he could not find his ice cream because it took him so long to search for it. But he still couldn't find it. But in the second scenario, the store was all organized. Where and what it was, what it was, and it finished in a as I said in the beginning, my first variable is the dairy product, the their sale, and my second variable is the organizing of the store and the number of sales that come to it. Here, adding and correlating both these positive correlation, negative correlation, and zero correlation. Now, I'll explain what positive and negative correlation is through my example. Now, the number of customers that visit the store is definitely different if the one where the store is. But if stay with the direct increases with the number of customers or decreases with the number, then it is called positive correlation. If they increase or decrease alternatively, for more customers for less customers for more sales, then it is called negative correlation. Now, the negative is two variables increase together or decrease together, then there is a positive correlation. And if they increase and decrease alternatively, they're said to be in negative correlation. The zero correlation is the opposite. Zero correlation is the two variables. Correlation is a branch statistic which is mostly independent. It is used to assess a positive linear relationship between any two variables. It also varies within a table.
Next, we move to the 21st century education. We can see that in this maximum all the sectors predicting analysis is required, which is very essential in day-to-day life of all human beings. For example, I have taken the two variables, deforestation and pollution. As deforestation is decreases and the pollution part is increases. This is the best example for negative correlation. Now we are going to learn mother of all predicting analysis, correlation and regression. Now why we want to learn that the correlation and regression. The reasons are to estimate, to predict, to solve non-linear real world problems. Now connecting with everyday life to this topic, we can see that statistics is everywhere, as already I said that. Now move to the home, and already one of my students, she explained by taking the grocery example, and we move to business and then games. Finally, the final one is stock market. And this is the mind map. Statistics, these two are the correlation and regressions. These three personalities are directly or indirectly involved in correlation and regression topic. Galton, Pearson, Spearsman. Next, we move on to the various subtopics, nothing but the content. We can move on in this topic. Especially first we start with the correlation. Explaining a few examples related to the correlation by model presentation, by chart preparation, and the final one explained using animated videos. Next, we move on to the types of correlation. It can be explained role play, chart presentation. Apart from these two topics, we can go for the explanation of correlation coefficient, scatter diagram, bivariate distribution, and properties of correlation coefficient. Now move to the correlation. Many problems in engineering and science involve exploring the relationship between two or more variables. And next one is scattered plot. It can be used to show relationship between two numerical variables. And the next one, correlation analysis, use it to measure the strength of the relationship between two variables. And you have to note that the one point, correlation does not equal causation. Just because two variables are highly correlated, this does not mean that one causes the other. Let me explain by taking some few examples. Now in this I have taken that the multiple correlation, which contains a number of absence, exam grade, percentage of homework assignments completed. And move to the second one, the temperature goes up, ice cream sales also goes up. The more it rains, the more sales for umbrella. The longer your hair grows, the more shampoo you will need it. As weather gets colder, air conditioning cost decreases. In all above examples, we are not finding a perfect relationship, but we can expect to find one on average. Now move to the next one, types of correlation, especially JN2. We have the syllabus like on the basis of direction of change. So these are all the ones: positive correlation, negative, perfectly positive, perfectly negative, and the last one, zero correlation. On the basis of number of variables, simple correlation, partial correlation, multiple correlation. On the basis of proportion, linear correlation, non-linear correlation. Now we can see that positive correlation, both go in the same direction, and in no correlation indicates that no linear relationship. Next, we move to the negative relationship. Now, one go in a forward, other will go in a backward. Now, you can see that the example age of core and reliability. And we can see that they all are, these are examples of positive correlation, negative correlation, and this is the perfect negative correlation, and this is the example for perfect positive correlation, and this is the final one. There is no correlation between childhood success and professional athletics. Next, we move on to the methods of studying correlation. There are two types: graphic methods, mathematical methods. Another one, graphic methods, scatter diagram, simple graph. In mathematical methods, Spearsman, and last final one, methods of least squares. In graphic methods, scatter diagram, also known as scattergram, and simple graph here. And next, we move to the coefficient of correlation, which is very essential for predicting analysis. It measures the relative strength of the linear relationship between two variables, which is represented by small r. Explaining a few examples related to the correlation coefficient by chart preparation. And few more topics are there in that Cauchy-Pearson coefficient of correlation, rank method, scatter diagram, and final one, methods of least diagram. Features of coefficient of correlation, which is a unitless, and it ranges between -1 to 1, which is closer to -1, which is a negative linear relationship, which is closer to 1, stronger the positive linear relationship, which is closer to 0, weaker any positive linear relationship. This is the scientific approach of the behavior of this coefficient of correlation. Next, we move to that these are all the examples of linear correlation. Next, we move to the second method, mathematical methods, which is also in that Cauchy-Pearson coefficient, which is also known as a product moment and Spearsman correlation. Here, these are all the formulas we are going to use to find that the R. Next, we move to the Spearsman rank correlation, which is also known as the rank correlation. Here, this formula is used to find the rank correlation, and this whenever the ranks will be repeated, at the time we are going to use this formula. Methods of least squares, the straight line that best fits the data. Next, we move on to the regression. Reduction analysis is used to predict the value of dependent variable based on the value of at least one independent variable, and also explain the impact of changes in independent variable and the dependent variable. Now, let me explain by taking some examples. Especially using in a marketing research, it can detect the association between variables and also it can help make a forecast, and it can test marketing mix models and can analyze the results of the experiments. And we can go see that the other examples. We can take that the income and educational level, demand for electricity, and the weather, home sales, and interest rates. Now here see that the statement we can read as here y is a function of x, and we have that explanatory variable, those we can control and not to control. Next, we move to that there are two types of methods in regression: graphic method and algebraic method. Now we can see that in algebraic method, which is a regression line is a straight line fitted to the data by the method of least squares. Already we know that the method of least squares. Now, there are two types of regression lines are there, y on x and x on y. These are all the regression models. And now the research and development is main focusing on the multiple regression equations, which is not so easy. Then next we move to the activities conducted in this topic. Best practices adopted in a classroom teaching: presentation through chats, student seminars, 50 presentation, case studies, open space learning, effective use of Google Classroom, role play, mind map, model presentation, collaboration with the technical branches. This is the mind map of correlation regression. And chart preparations by students, seminar presentations, teaching squares. Especially we focused on machine learning with the CSE branch faculty, open space learning, face map activity. This is a case study on Volta's company. Collaboration with the CSE branch, students prepared artificial intelligence, blue brain technology, machine learning, computer graphics, cyber security, neural network, and also they submitted the assignments. And difficult topics in this finding regression lines, y on x on y, and list of misconceptions, especially correlation and causation. Next, we move to the key topics in stream related to the industry: designing of any model with the right technology tool, forecasting, predicting. Question bank. In JNTU University question papers, these topics are going to make that the familiar with the students, because they are focusing on that finding correlation with the Carl Pearson and rank method. And then next, when average value is a fraction or without fraction, properties of correlation coefficient and regression lines, especially, and finding that the last one, regression coefficient. GATE exam pattern will be like this. Here we have to focus on engineering mathematics, and also here we can expect that the some questions in probability statistics, permutations, correlation in this general aptitude also. Now these are all the question papers. And this is the key points of this topic, and this is question bank. Next, these are all the previous question paper questions, applications of this correlation regression. And the last final one, advances in correlation, especially I'm going to talk about the causation. Nowadays, wherever we can see that machine learning, deep learning, neural networks, all are involved in a causation. Especially correlation does not affect with the causation, but still the research is going on in causation. Now we can see that the correlation and causation here. And the third variable, which is invisible. Now in machine learning, especially we are taking that in a machine learning, the PCA method, which is nothing but the principal component method. It's a technique to find the patterns in high dimensional data. These are all the web links. Thank you. Thank you all.